Hey guys, this is Ray, owner of Double R Diesel. Welcome back to my shop and my channel. And we're doing another weekly question and answer topic discussion video. So I hope you guys have had a great week. Hope you've been blessed. Getting right into it. So one of the things I want to talk about this week is pertaining to the new 2025 Ram heavy duty truck. So mainly interested in finding out if there's any possibility that we're going to be able to tune these things. So I had my doubts, but what I wanted to do was actually lay my eyes on a 25 model truck and look and see if they've changed the ECM in the truck compared to the 19 through 24. So I went to my local dealer. They had one in stock that they had actually just gotten in off the transport truck. It just came from Mexico. I only had it maybe about a day, and they hadn't had a chance to PDI the truck or clean it up, but they let me look at it. And anyway, I did pop the hood on it, and I did manage to snag this picture of the part number plate on the ECM. So here is the most important thing as far as I can tell you moving forward when it comes to tuning the new trucks. So if you look right there, Cummins Incorporated, I'll put this picture up where you can see it. The sticker says Cummins Incorporated CM. That's the number that you're really concerned about there. That is the model of the ECM that's in this truck. So it's got a CM 2452B. Okay, that's significant because the 19 through 24 model trucks all had CM 2450s. Okay, not a 2452B. CM 2450s is what has been in the truck through 2024 model year. And you guys know that there were some variations in part numbers after year models, beginning with year model 2022, there was a new part number for the 2450 ECM, and that particular ECM is not tunable with a non-factory calibration. So, rolling back just a second, if you had a 22, 23, 24 model truck, you couldn't tune those trucks and add any power, change any transmission tune without swapping out the PCM. Now I know there's some shops that are offering for sale delete tunes without swapping out the ECM, but all they're doing is using a Mexican calibration file that is a factory file from Cummins, in programming that calibration in, which allows you to be able to delete, but you can't successfully add power, nor can you tune the transmission with those type setups. But big news is the 25 model trucks have a 2452B PCM, ECM, whatever you want to call it, okay? And guys, I hate to say it, but that's kind of bad news. So that means these trucks have an all-new ECM inside of them, and chances are this new ECM is not interchangeable with the 2450. So what am I saying is you probably can't even do a ECM PCM swap on the 25 model trucks, and without a shadow of a doubt that those ECMs are locked from aftermarket calibration. So it's not looking good, guys, as far as being able to tune the new truck. So be mindful if you go drop $60, $70, $80, $90, $100,000 on one of these new Ram trucks, that you might not be able to tune it. And if you're looking to delete it at the least, it's probably not going to be very easy. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to be impossible, but it won't be easy, and it may be impossible. I just don't know at this point yet, but it's not good to have a new ECM in these trucks. But I'm not surprised. So when I find out anything else down the road, I'll be sure to let you guys know. So I wanted to share that with you. Also, I wanted to I'll show you these pictures of the truck. Didn't get any good very good exterior pictures of the truck. But this is a dually 3500. It's a tradesman style truck, you know, not very fancy, but look at the under hood shot here. Look at how dirty this truck is. This is a brand new truck with, I think, 2 miles, 3 miles on the odometer. It's been sitting outside the plant in Mexico, and apparently it's a dust bowl over there, guys, and these trucks get filthy before they ever get shipped out to the States. So it's kind of ridiculous to see a brand spanking new truck inundated with this much dust, especially under the hood in the engine compartment. That is ridiculous. And the only way you're going to get rid of that is to wash it. And it's not good to, wash a brand new electronically governed engine like this. There's a lot of electronics up under that hood, and the only way to get it clean is to wash it. And I wouldn't be a fan of that. That's unacceptable, but that's not part of, I'm not in control of that, but I thought it was interesting to share it with you. So getting right along, let's talk about comments from this past week's video, and let me try to discuss these comments and bring some acknowledgement to it. So, first one here, a day ago, a guy made the comment that the 18 and back Cummins was the cream of the crop, period. And I will agree with this gentleman. Up until 2018, you had a very reliable engine that used the flat tappet style solid lifters, didn't give you any issues, had a regular cast iron engine block, didn't give you any issues provided you take care of it. But after 2018, beginning of 2019, they went to that compacted graphite block, which, in my opinion, even though that material is much stronger than regular cast iron, they took too much material out of the block and actually made something that's going to be very prone to crack. Also, the new truck engines, 19 and newer, continuing right along, even with the new 2025 model engine, uses a hydraulic roller lifter tappet, and we all know that those things will at least get clickety clackety at some point and quite possibly fail, with some cases less than 100,000 miles on the clock. So 18 and back, definitely the best 6.7 engines out there. Some people were talking about ACE tuning, saying that the ACE tuning does make a difference. I'll take note of that. Like I said, transmission tuning is, up for debate. What one person likes, the other person hates. So it varies from person to person, but I will acknowledge the fact that some people say tuning the ACE transmission, which is being done by some other companies with other devices, could be worth it. Somebody was making suggestions about, if I were to offer a video series, pay-per-view kind of deal to show you guys how to tune with the Smarty software, Race Me software, to put it up on my website, with a time limit available, that will be available on my website. And that's probably how I do it versus Patreon, but we'll see. I got to find time to do it. I've been real busy these days, not so much with the diesel, but with the gasoline business I've got, DRP Motorsports. It keeps me pretty busy, which I'm thankful for. A lot of you guys showing me support, talking about your previous business dealings with me and prior tunes, and very happy with your tunes that you got from me years ago. I appreciate the support, guys. It means a lot. I hope I can get back to doing it one of these days without fear of repercussions. Somebody asked a question, and this is a good question. Do I tune the older 5.9 liter truck? So yes, I do. If it is a common rail, 2003 through 2007, 5.9 liter, I tune them as well. They tune up great. You don't have the emission stuff on there to worry about, and you can definitely add power with tuning and improve them. The one thing that I can't do, or what I'm limited with, is being able to tune the 48 transmission. The older the truck gets, the less that I can do as far as transmission tuning wise goes. Let's see. Somebody was talking about TK's Garage's videos concerning the stuff that's taking place in the House of Representatives this week. Some congressional review acts that were debated upon and voted upon. So, without boring you with a lot of details, it's typical Washington, D.C. fashion. They agree to something, but then somebody says, no, I'm not going to do it. I can't agree to it. So they end up having great plans, great ideas, but it's really hard to get it across the finish line. So they did pass a measure in the House of Representatives. It was, and basically I think it pertains to CARB, the power that California Air Resources Board may have or may not have. And it also was pertaining to the new 2027 standards that was kind of dictated and pushed by CARB as far as diesel emission standards. That there was a bill that did pass the House, and it has been moved on to the Senate. I don't know if I don't think the Senate's picked up on it yet, so that's yet to get through the Senate. So that's got to get through the Senate, then it might get to the president's desk, but that's just half a step of many that really needs to take place before we can ever get what we truly want out of Congress. And guys, it's not going to happen anytime soon. I'm still hopeful that something will happen significant before the end of the year, but still, you got too many people in D.C. that still want to play politics, and it's quite disgusting, but it is what it is. I'm just praying that things will, some meaningful legislation will pass and some things will take place that will allow us to not be so burdened with such heavy emissions regulations, but we shall see. Somebody made a comment about the MM3 tuner and the digital gauges. Wanted to know, could I change the decimal readouts from like the hundredths place to maybe like just to the tenths place where you won't see so many numbers changing. So I haven't actually messed with that yet. I got to get to my truck and actually play with that, see if we can. I don't know that we can, but the refresh rate that the MM3 tuner offers is extremely fast. That's why you see those numbers just moving so fast and blending so fast, because that's actually how fast the data is changing within the ECM, and the MM3 is so fast that it can pick up on those changes that quickly. So that's why you see those numbers change that fast. It's a fast device. Let's see here. What else? What else do we have here? Oh yeah. Somebody posed a question about the Transgo tuneless reprogramming kit for the 19 plus 68 RFE transmission. So here's the deal. Whether it's Transgo or RevMax or Randy's or whoever, if they make a kit or a valve body for 68 RFE and it has the tuneless option, which means it doesn't require anything other than a stock tune for it to work correctly. Those kind of setups work when it comes to being able to add more line pressure, but the line pressure is a constant thing. It can't be ramped up and tamped down with throttle load input, and that kind of makes things not as smooth when you go with a tuneless setup, as well as you can't play with the shift points or lockup points. So technically a tuneless valve body, a tuneless valve body kit is better than stock, but it's not much better. You're better off to get the parts set up for a tuned style setup and then get it properly tuned. That's the best way to go. All right, what else do we have here? So, oh yeah, somebody made a clarification to when last week's video was talking about after I tune trucks with our emissions compliant tuning that they don't regen anymore off of perceived soot load, but off a timer. Somebody commented and said that the timer is on a 24-hour clock, so basically meaning after 24 hours of engine runtime, the DPF is going to be regenerated no matter how much soot it may or may not hold. So if you set up the tuning like we try to set it up, and you get that thing running squeaky clean, and the DPF is not having to work very hard at all, therefore it's not having the regen due to soot load, it's still going to regen every 24 hours of engine runtime. And somebody made that comment to clarify that up. Somebody asked the question, with our emissions compliant tuning, can you reduce EGR usage? And that is a very good question. So, in order to keep the government happy, we are not supposed, as tuners, to mess with any element of design, which basically means that if it is EGR equipped, if it's SCR equipped, if it's DPF equipped, whatever the case may be, if it's on there, we are not to alter the function of that piece of equipment. So, what am I saying? If it's got an EGR on it, we are not supposed to touch the EGR flow tables within the calibration. So, no, I can't do anything about EGR usage. I wish I could, but I'm not supposed to. Let's see. Anything else? Guys, I think that's about it. So here's the deal. Remind you guys once again. So with all this stuff that may or may not be happening in Washington, D.C., please, as always, I'm reminding you guys, take the time, contact your elected officials. They're not going to get off their butts and do anything unless they're made to, because all they really care about is keeping their jobs. So they only want to do what they think is going to get them votes. So if you flood them with enough contact about a certain topic, then they might actually do something about it, because they might then feel like if they don't, they might lose some votes. So make sure you hit your elected officials up and pressure them to at least make some sort of meaningful emissions reform, so that we don't have to be facing so many burdensome regulations. Guys, I think that's going to do it for this week. Please feel free to comment, make suggestions, ask questions. It makes for good conversation. I enjoy doing this. Again, I greatly appreciate all your support. It means a lot to me, means a lot to my family. I can't thank you enough. But until next week, guys, I hope you have a great week. God bless each and every one of you, and we will see you again soon.